where you are in the world, what belt you are. And I'm always curious if everybody's training. Our lockdown got extended today, but what do you do when you live in a shoe? Got extended, but. So shoot me what belt you are. What belt you are and where you are in the world. Sometimes my tech stuff doesn't work too well, but that's okay. That's okay. It's the way she goes in 2020. It's almost like when we're on our teacher training courses with Zoom, if something goes wrong, I'm like, it's not if it goes wrong, it's pretty much when it goes wrong. So ask me anything. We have a couple really great minutes here, and we always do a few ask me anythings about yoga for jiu-jitsu related. And today is a really cool day because through a lot of requests, we've been asked to do a program on boxing and kickboxing. And I've been lucky enough to have been doing boxing right out of high school, actually, since 2015. And I did quite a few years of it, and I had some incredible coaches, actually out of Vernon, Brian Jones, the Vernon Boxing Club, and Dave Belanger. So Brian Jones is more boxing. He does kickboxing too, and Dave Belanger does MMA. But it was back in the old school days where it was like, if you're looking at the timer because you're tired, the timer goes off and you keep going. So that was really cool. So I'm going to put together some stretches regarding that. You know what? So some stretches for rubber guard. And my next question is, do you recommend actual yoga for BJJ or do you recommend doing mobility? Okay, so let me answer the stretches for rubber guard. You can also ask Adam on his live stream about that. But stretches for rubber guard, if you take in consideration what we're doing, we're pulling the leg most of the time close, right? This is what's called pigeon stretch. So that's pigeon. And this is a great, if you're not too flexible, start with the foot on the ground. Next one, boom. With on your back, grabbing the shin. And the last one for pigeon or rubber guard. We should almost rename this rubber guard stretches, shouldn't we? Allowing the leg to rest on the ground and just leaning over top. The back leg is not the biggest deal. And even the front leg I used to be like, oh, I've got to pull this leg up super high to make sure that I hit with, and you don't like this, my knee doesn't like this. And some knees just don't like it because that's the way the bones are. And other times the flexibility isn't there. So it's okay if this foot is further down and the back leg can be straightened to intensify the stretch or bent. So bent is a little bit less intense, but it feels nicer on the legs and it changes the stretch a little bit. Or it can be straight. So both are really good. Then stretches or mobility, and you know what? Honestly, with that question, we kind of need both. We kind of need all of it. Like we need the stretching, we need the mobility, which means the range of motion, increasing the range of motion. And just bring the conversation back to talking about our stretches for the kickboxing and boxing. Like it's not that different. The concepts still transfer over in a way to jiu-jitsu for my jiu-jitsu people, right? So keep the questions coming and I'll just interrupt myself and answer your questions. How rude of me, hey? But they got to be answered. So we have jiu-jitsu and then we have kickboxing and boxing, and there needs to be a good balance, a good balance in the muscles between lengthening them and strengthening them. So length and strength. Because what happens is a lot of the time they get really strong and then they get like really tight. So we're missing the other half of the formula, which is lengthening. And this week, what we're really looking at today in the live class and the study is the lats. So more of the back. So the lats, the pecs, and even the traps a little bit. And the lats are incredible muscle. We always think, oh, the lats, not a big deal, but the lats are, if you grab like pretty much that wing underneath, that's the lats underneath the armpit. And they're quite big actually. They go from the lower back all the way up to pretty much the middle back, maybe a little bit higher. And the C7 of the spine is the technical term, but nobody cares. Nobody knows what that means. Just go to the middle back. And it connects and it folds over part of the under the arms. So what that does is it connects pretty much the shoulders to the torso in the rotating. And when we look at that from the boxing perspective, that's pretty important, right? Rotating over. Obviously it will be also working with the pecs and the traps. Like, it's so cool how there's so much in the back that works together. Well, the whole body that works together to make this happen. But with the boxing, boom, you're moving forward and back. So that's why a lot of boxers have really strong back muscles. But I'll even be honest with you guys, when I stopped, didn't box as much because honestly, the nonstop headaches, I would spar a lot and the headaches got to be a bit much. So now that's how I moved to mostly jiu-jitsu, where we could just choke each other out and almost kill each other and then tap and high five, you know. Jiu-jitsu, you're doing not that much different with pulling the gi. I'm pulling the gi, pulling it towards me. Again, that's using the lats. And we do need the arms to be connected to the torso. So the lats do work a lot with the rotation through the torso and the arms. That's boxing and that's also jiu-jitsu. And we want to, the next thing too are the pecs. The chest gets really tight. So the shoulders will round forward just like this. And then the arms will kind of go here in front. Now this is if the lats are tight and the pecs are tight. And kind of a nice test is, oh, good Friday evening from Norway. Yeah, I guess, hey, right now it's in the morning here, but yeah, you guys are in the future. I gotta ask, how's Saturday? Is today a good day? Or how is Friday? Yeah, today's Friday. Is today a good day? Is Friday evening, was Friday good? Because I'm about to live it. You already lived yours. I'm about to live mine, which is crazy. So if those lats are really tight, we'll end up pulling the shoulders forward, internally rotating down. And if you see this from weightlifters or people that do a lot of boxing or even sometimes a lot of jiu-jitsu, you'll be like, your lats are tight. Another test is pulling the arm above the head. Now this is something when I started the yoga 2 years ago, like really started seriously doing it, I had to change 10 years of boxing to stretch it out, to reverse what I've done for 10 years. Because for 10 years, I've been forward flexion of the back, forward of the shoulders. The lats have been so tight, I actually couldn't lift my arm above, so kind of above the head. So kind of a test is how far up can you lift that arm? And I still have work to do, but it's gotten a lot better. And that's if the lats are really tight, it couples over into those triceps. And then also looking at the pecs. So like we talked about, the reason why that is important to have that stretched is it creates imbalances in the body if it's over tight, and if there's imbalances, now we're not performing our sport as well. We're not doing what we need to do as well. And there's also going to be injuries that come out of that. So the lats are really great for rotation through the shoulders. The spine does a lot of things, right? But that's the one we're looking at today, which is important for punching, and in the gi, pulling, right? The rotation, anytime we're rotating the shoulder to the spine. The next one is those pecs that tend to get tight because in boxing and kickboxing, we're always rounded forward. And in jiu-jitsu, it's not that different, is it? We're rounded forward. And in the box, when we do the hooks, that'll be a lot of pecs, maybe even a tiny bit of the uppercuts, like pulling towards us. Too much mobile scrolling from my shoulders. You know what? That's actually super hilarious because it's true. I should be doing a video. Okay, guys, so when you're scrolling forward, you're also using a lot of pecs. So today's video is going to be on reversing that. We're going to do a stretch for mobile scrolling. Yeah, that's actually super funny because it's so true. So stretching through the pecs. And obviously there's a ton going on there. Like there's all of the shoulder rotation, things like that. But today's focus will be on, in today's class, we'll be really stretching out those lats. Stretching and strengthening. A little bit of strengthening in there too to fire them up and bring awareness to them. And if you want a few stretches that are just outstanding for them, Well, actually, we'll do one strengthening one and one stretching one. One strengthening one for those lats because we do want to be strong so that we can punch people or pull on the gi. So we can, be, so we can be good people. It doesn't sound like it when I put it like that, does it? Moving through, boom, our down dog, pulling the elbows. Pretty much, if I gave you your favorite pencil and you put it in between the armpit, right there. You got to hold your favorite pencil right there. That's how we would fire up those lats. So from here and pulling your favorite pencil in. So this is a really great way to go from your dog to your plank to fire up those lats and strengthen them. Then another way to stretch them, which is really quite simple. Well, two. The one that is, I kind of feel, I don't feel it a ton. So this is like, I feel it more through my side, right? Where you reach up and over. So you'll feel this really through your side and maybe the lats a little bit, but usually the side body's pretty tight. So the whole side body wants to join the party. And the next one is my favorite, my goalpost stretch. On your stomach, elbow at the 90, pulling the arm up and then reaching over. So we're doing this one a few times today to stretch, that's the pecs, to stretch the pecs. So the side stretch is the lats, that one is the pecs. So we're kind of hitting everything today, but those are some really, really great stretches. So down dog to plank to strengthen the lats. Then you can just simply those side stretches, moving through the lats. And of course, the goalpost for the pecs to balance everything that's going on through the lats and through the back. Then another one, which is actually one of my favorites to stretch through the lats and through the triceps, is head into onto your tabletop, and it's almost like a down dog, but not. It's like a down dog, but it's not. Elbows on the ground and pulling the hands behind the head. So this is a really, really good one too. And I want you to try that and let me know how it feels. And sometimes it's so tight, you don't even really feel anything at all. So those are a few really great stretches. And again, the importance of stretching that is, you need the muscles to be not only length, like strong, but you also need them to be lengthened. You need them to be long. Otherwise, they start to jam up and they don't perform the way, like to their optimal capacity. They don't perform as well as they could. And honestly, just when I'm really tight and overusing muscles, I feel like garbage. It's just tight, it sucks, it hurts, and I just don't like that. So that's kind of the spiel on all of this today. And tomorrow we also have our AMA coming up. So thank you for joining me live, everybody. And we will either see you in class today. You can jump on the story and swipe up. Or if you're watching this a little bit later, you can jump onto the website and you'll see, like, you can just search boxing or kickboxing, or you'll see me under the new releases, or jump in the boxing section. So pretty much you can find it. It won't be too hard to find on there. So we will see you guys next time.